What if your office was more than just a place to work? What if it was a community, a lifestyle, a revolution? This was the promise of WeWork, a company that soared to a staggering $47 billion valuation. And at its heart was a visionary, charismatic leader, Adam Neumann, who sold a dream of a new way to work and live. But this spectacular rise was just the prelude to one of the most dramatic corporate collapses in recent history. This is the story of the rise and fall of WeWork. So, how did one man convince the world that a simple office rental company was the future? It all comes down to the cult of personality surrounding its founder, Adam Neumann. Born in Israel and raised partly on a kibbutz, Neumann had a certain messianic charisma. He wasn't just selling office space, he was selling a revolution, a new way of life. He would walk barefoot in the office, serve tequila shots during meetings, and give grand speeches about elevating the world's consciousness. Employees weren't just workers. They were part of a we generation. This created an intense, almost cult-like following, where his vision was followed without question. But anecdotes from former employees paint a picture of a leader who was both inspiring and wildly eccentric, blurring the line between visionary and showman. A key part of the magic trick was convincing everyone WeWork was a tech company, not a real estate company. This tech illusion was crucial for securing sky-high valuations. How did they pull it off? They used tech jargon, built a mobile app for booking rooms, and talked relentlessly about community and data. But the real catalyst was Masayoshi Son, the head of SoftBank, in a legendary 12-minute meeting. Neumann supposedly convinced Son to invest a staggering $4.4 billion. Son saw Neumann as the next great tech visionary and bought into the idea that WeWork's data on how people worked was the real gold. SoftBank's massive investment created a feedback loop. The more they invested, the more legitimate WeWork's tech claims seemed, leading to even higher valuations. Inside the WeWork bubble, life was a whirlwind. The culture was all about hustle. Long hours were expected, but they were fueled by free-flowing beer, lavish parties, and a sense of being part of something huge. The annual summer camp was a mandatory multi-day festival of music, motivational speeches, and company-wide partying. It was designed to reinforce the cult-like community. For employees, the promise wasn't just a fun job. It was life-changing wealth through stock options. They were told their shares would be worth a fortune after the IPO. This dream of becoming a millionaire kept many going, even as the work culture became more demanding and the parties more extreme. They were all in on the dream, unaware the bubble was about to burst. The beginning of the end came with the S-1 filing, the document a company releases before going public. It was a complete disaster. Instead of reassuring investors, it exposed just how bizarre the company's finances were. The document revealed that Adam Neumann had personally trademarked the We brand and then tried to charge his own company nearly $6 million to use it. It also detailed a tangled web of loans Neumann had taken from the company and properties he owned that he was leasing back to WeWork. Investors were spooked. The filing read less like a business prospectus and more like a manual on corporate mismanagement. The emperor had no clothes, and the S1 filing was the document that pointed it out for the whole world to see. Founded in 2010, WeWork's concept was simple. Lease office buildings, redesign them into beautiful, shared workspaces, and rent them out to startups, freelancers, and even large enterprises. They weren't just renting desks, they were selling community and culture. Investors, led by Japan's SoftBank, poured billions into the company, captivated by Neumann's vision. WeWork wasn't just a real estate company, it was a tech unicorn. A global movement. The valuation skyrocketed, reaching an unbelievable $47 billion. But behind the glamour and the growth, the financials told a different story. The company was losing billions of dollars. To mask the losses, they invented creative metrics like community-adjusted EBITDA, which ignored core costs like marketing, design, and administration. Adam Neumann's leadership style also came under fire. He had immense control, and reports emerged of him using company funds for a lavish personal lifestyle and engaging in questionable self-dealing, like leasing properties he personally owned back to WeWork. The house of cards came tumbling down in 2019 when WeWork prepared to go public. The public filing, known as the S1, exposed the company's massive losses and Neumann's conflicts of interest to the world. Investor confidence evaporated. The IPO was cancelled and the valuation collapsed. Adam Neumann was forced to step down, albeit with a golden parachute worth over $1 billion. You've heard a lot about Adam Neumann, but what about the other guy? Let's talk about the quiet co-founder, Miguel McKelvey, with a background in architecture. McKelvey was the design visionary behind WeWork's signature look. While Neumann was the charismatic, high-flying showman, McKelvey was the grounded, detail-oriented force working behind the scenes. He was the one who actually brought the we into WeWork, focusing on building community and designing spaces that fostered collaboration. But as Neumann's personality grew larger than life, McKelvey's role seemed to shrink into the background, a stark contrast to his partner's explosive public persona. While the founders walked away with fortunes, thousands of employees faced a different reality. Imagine being told you're part of a family, a movement that's changing the world, and that your stock options will make you a millionaire. Then, almost overnight, it all disappears. That was the human cost of WeWork's collapse. Mass layoffs left thousands jobless, their dreams of wealth turning to dust. The promises of a revolutionary workplace culture evaporated, replaced by a deep sense of betrayal and disillusionment for the very people who built the company from the ground up. And just when you thought the story was over, Adam Neumann is back, in a move that shocked many. He secured a staggering $350 million in funding from the venture capital firm Van Driessen Horowitz for his new real estate venture, called Flow. The company aims to tackle the housing crisis, but the comeback has been met with huge controversy. Critics are asking, how does someone who presided over one of the most spectacular corporate meltdowns in recent history get a second chance with such a massive check, while so many who were burned by WeWork are still picking up the pieces? It's a question that raises a lot of debate about accountability in the world of high-stakes startups. The company was left in turmoil. Then came the COVID-19 pandemic, a devastating blow to a business model built on shared physical spaces. Layoffs and restructuring followed, but it wasn't enough. In November 2023, WeWork filed for bankruptcy. WeWork has since emerged from bankruptcy, a shadow of its former self, with a new owner and a fraction of its locations. It stands as a powerful cautionary tale about the dangers of hype, the cult of the founder, and the difference between a revolutionary vision and a sustainable business. What do you think about the WeWork saga? Was it a brilliant idea with flawed execution, or a disaster from the start? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories of epic rises and falls.